Is that gasoline I smell?
Covenant, calling Raven.
Payback time.
Come with me if you want to live.
You just don't turn it off!
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. Trying out something new, guys. This is called The Greatest Hits of, in this case, The Greatest Hits of The Crow from 1994. It's nothing new. You guys have seen this on lots of channels. It's basically a best of. I'm just taking the greatest hits of a movie through certain categories and stuff like that. Maybe one day I'll just do a franchise, like the greatest hits of the franchise. But I hear that term a lot when you watch a movie or you go, this was just the greatest hits of everything, right? So I thought I'm kind of doing my own version of something. So please let me know how you like it. Post your comments in the comments section. See if you like this. See if you'd like me to do more classic movies like this. And yeah, we'll have a good time just talking The Crow, really. It's just a different way to talk about a classic movie. Now, The Crow has an awesome soundtrack. I listened to it countless times when this movie first came out. Lots of great songs on this one. Obviously, very 90s songs. But I'm going with my favorite song, It Can't Rain All the Time by Jane Siberry. Great tune, and especially after Brandon Lee died. Whenever I hear this song, you know, can't rain all the time. Man, it's almost like a funeral march now. You know what I mean? And the song has a lot to say. You know, no matter how bad things get, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It can't rain all the time, using this metaphor. But the singer has this really high soprano voice. And it just, you know, it just really pulls on the heartstrings, this song. So many great lines in this movie. I mean, I love the line where he's like, "At bash the devil stood and felt how awful goodness is." That's a great line. Doesn't mean a whole lot, but I'm going with a line that has a lot of meaning to it. That's when he kills Fun Boy, and then he sees the girlfriend or whatever, and she's using drugs, and he says like, puts her in front of the mirror, and is like, "Mother is the name for God on the lips and eyes of children." I love that, man, because it's necessary to the story for her character arc. It makes her wake up. Her daughter's on the streets and everything. She wants to be a good mom and everything. But that line was always really, really fantastic. It just, you know, a really great line that had something really to say. You know what I mean? Lots of good shots in this film. I mean, this film has such a visual style and a dark visual style. That's one of the things that makes it really stand out. It has that real comic book feel. It's dark and all that. The use of color in the darkness is really great. So there's really a lot of shots in here you could pick from. But there's one particular shot when they're all talking, you know, the villains, everything. They're in that board meeting. And then the Crow is just sitting out there looking down. And I think the Crow's sitting on his shoulder. And it's just the composition of the shot and everything. The wind blowing on him and everything. I've always really loved that shot. So many good shots, but that's the one that sticks in my mind the most, is that one particular shot. Favorite character, so many great characters in this. And the obvious one would be Eric Draven. That's the obvious one, but I wanted to pick someone else because we're going to talk about the Crow soon enough. But I like Sergeant Albrecht. Played by Ernie Hudson.
Come on, you think any of those people in that building, even the ones who signed the petition, would talk after what happened to you?
I just like how this character cared so much, tried to bring the people down. He got demoted and all that kind of stuff. And really, I just like how he takes care of Sarah, kind of. When Sarah's on the streets alone, he gives her hot dogs and stuff. And he's just a really compassionate character. I love his sense of humor. You know what I mean? Where he's always ragging on the detective there, where he goes, "I call it blood, detective. I guess you'd call it up as graffiti." And he gets to have justice too, because he wanted to bring these villains down. He wanted to bring this gang down, and he wanted to, and like I said before, he got demoted. He stuck his nose in where it didn't belong. And the way he stayed with Shelley at the hospital and all that, wow. And then she eventually died and everything, but he stood there and he was with her, all that kind of stuff. He's got a big heart, this character. You know what I mean? He probably could have become a really good detective, but demoted to beat cop. He just has really good character. He's funny as hell, and just a genuine, good, honest cop. Best moment. There's so many good moments. Obviously, I had to pick one, and one that I've always loved is when the Crow kills Tintin. Oh, this is where we kind of really first see the Crow in action. He's back from the dead. He's a revenant. Got to take care of some fucking business, man. And running on the roof, and the way he just falls off the roof. Brandon Lee gives that cackle. Just amazing, man. And the way he's charging at Tintin, creature of the night. And he's just like, who the fuck are you, crackhead? You know what I mean? And they have this little fight, and it's very emotional. And it's not like what you expect out of Brandon Lee. No kung fu or nothing like that. He's taking knives, throwing knives at each other. It's a very like, I hate you, I'm going to punch the shit out of you kind of fight. And then the aftermath, you see Tintin, all the knives in him when they take him away. So someone stuck his knives in him in alphabetical order. Just always love the atmosphere of it. And that cackle by Brandon Lee when he laughs, when he hits the ground and everything, just falls off the building. Love it. Best action sequence. A lot of great action scenes in this movie, but really, it's the boardroom scene where he just sits up there and he goes, well, I see you've made your decision. Now let's see you enforce it.
He's gone.
And it's this huge gun battle and everything like that, where he's just taking out everyone. The great line, you're all going to die. You know what I mean? He's just fucking everybody up. It's almost a precursor, reminiscent of what we see in Blade 4 years later. It almost has that same kind of feel. And the really dark alternative kind of rock music playing in the background really suits it all. And, they eventually figure out that he's linked to the Crow. So if you can kill the Crow, right? I always forget Tony Todd is in this movie. Every time I watch it, I go, frick, yeah, Tony Todd is in this movie. You know what I mean? But just a great freaking violence as hell. The Crow just taking out everybody, man. Best performance, clearly Brandon Lee as the Crow, Eric Draven. Brandon Lee just did such a great job on this. It's too bad this is his last movie. It's unfortunate. And the movie almost feels kind of sacred. I know they recently remade it. It's not getting the greatest reviews, but I'll still go see it when it comes to VOD. I hear it's completely different. So I hear it doesn't really shit on this movie either, so which is nice. But Brandon Lee's performance, he would have got a lot of work after this, I think. You know what I mean? He just showed that, he just wasn't the son of a martial artist, greatest martial artist, of one of them of all time. What Bruce Lee did, I mean, his legacy is entrenched, man. And what Brandon Lee did here, man, just really showed that he could really act. He could really play different kind of characters. We knew he could get the physicality down, you know what I mean? There's so many things he has in this. He has a ton of charisma. You know what I mean? When he's telling jokes and everything, he could be funny in this. You could look at him and just be completely freaking terrified, you know what I mean? The way he terrifies these villains and everything. The performance, he hits on so many emotions, so many layers. It's not going to break down the Oscar door or nothing like that. It's not one of those kind of performances. It's a very, very unique performance. You know how they say, sometimes you're born to play a role? It just feels like he was really born to play this character of Eric Draven. You know what I mean? The actors got to give you reality. The movies are made in the editing room, but the actors give you the reality. And Brandon Lee here, I just felt all the emotions he was going for. You care about the guy instantly. And then you don't see much in the flashbacks. You see this couple, she's getting raped. He gets thrown out the window. But the way they shoot it, they make you care right away. You know what I mean? I think that has a lot to do with Brandon Lee. And how likable he was and how likable this character was in those tiny flashbacks. You know what I mean? The charm he had and all that. So great performance by Brandon Lee. So that is it, guys. Let me know what you think of The Crow in the comments of these little categories we went through. It's not going to be a terribly long video, guys, but let me know if you'd want to see more. I think this kind of video, this kind of idea would be better with another person. So I am gonna consider guests and, you know, talking to some people on doing some of their favorite classic movies and stuff like that. So just let me know. We'll see how it does with the views and all that, because that really helps. If it gets a lot of views and people are loving that kind of style, then of course I will do more for sure. So this was a lot of fun, guys. My name is Jason. You are watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.